Shore Wars had just poisoned Dropbox in my mind anyway. I was like, I just don't think it ever works.
I wonder if Shore Wars is still with Machinima. Is Machinima still with Machinima?
Machinima's not even a thing anymore.
It's not?
I don't think so.
But it was run so well.
Yeah, right? It's just in there just blowing money. I mean, why was that real estate even necessary? Why did they need that building even to exist? God knows that building didn't need to exist. Oh, their building was in a nice part of town, and it was pretty big.
What town was it in?
I don't know, like LA suburb, like area names.
I want to say it was an expensive piece of office.
Yeah, some San Maniquino, like whatever the hell. It wasn't. It was a nice part of town, nice-ish part of town, and you walked in, and you were like, "I work for these people. What are they? What does this cost per square foot per day? Like this is absurd. This is absurd."
And just nobody was doing anything around there other than apparently,
dude. It looked like
80s drugs.
It was a bunch of cubicles, and just like it looked like a dorm environment. Everybody was just kind of goofing off. It just seemed like
they hated me at Machinima. Like the high end people, at least were professional enough to hide it. But I walked around and I saw a picture of my head on Benedict Arnold's body, hung with a pin on somebody's cube wall. And I'm like, this is where I work. Like, did they not know I was coming?
You didn't know?
Oh, they knew you were coming.
Or they did.
Before you came in, they're like, all the Woody stuff gotta come down. Come down now.
Oh, we missed 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they were mad because I got everyone paid better. You know, that's what happened. So
you cut into the Coke budget.
I guess so.
And the cool party budget.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it seems like they're having a fun time, Kyle. And
yeah, you act like it was a failure.
It's not like I made 15 videos that are still in some old Dropbox account somewhere waiting to get uploaded. Oh, that's so excited when they signed me, and I was like, filling that box up with tons of videos. And then like they put one out, and I was like, well, it released at 2:15 a.m., so didn't get any subs. And but I'm sure they'll put one up next week. No.
I didn't give them much content. I always put it on my channel, even when it wasn't monetized. I don't know.
Remember when they were like,
it was always huge.
You got to use this custom intro and outro on all your videos. And I was like, no, you're not actually checking my channel ever.
I really liked sending them content because I'd get a big subscriber boost every time. I'd get 10, 20,000 subscribers like in like 2 days or something like that. If I sent them a good video, I'd get like whatever, 250,000 to 500,000 views or something like that. Try to like upload a video to my channel like as soon as they've subscribed, so they like get some more of me. And I like sending them stuff. I like my working relationship with them in general. I just thought it was a terribly managed, completely mismanaged company with like so many like mistakes. They had so much potential at their fingertips with all those directors they had. Everybody from Syndicate and White Boy and Jaws and all of us and just Sean Anderson and Hutch and everybody. And if they had instead of focusing
me on that crowd, that's very generous of you.
I mean, they should have been doing like all sorts of events where they were flying in like their top 25, top 30 guys and like getting them to do like, imagine if they'd done like lots of streaming events where like we all competed in Call of Duty, or like we did like that, something kind of like that little reality thing that I did for Medal of Honor, where it's like, all right, we're going to spend a day in the desert and shooting guns, and then we're going to spend a day in the streaming lab, streaming everybody playing the new Call of Duty, and like
their talent so much. Like that was one of the worst parts about them. Like I don't know. EA will offer him a $10 CPM. They'll be like, all right, Kyle, let's split this 2 for you and 8 for me. And it's like that. You didn't earn 80% of this. And
do you remember the Perpetuity contracts?
Yeah, another example of them kind of screwing.
I remember having to hire lawyers to get me out of it. Yeah,
yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, at some point, like getting the most out of every deal is bad business because there's no future deals. Everyone wants to get out of you, get away from you.
Yeah, you can shear a sheep many times, but you can only skin it once.
Oh, Ooh,
I like that.
that's good. I don't think I've heard that before.
That's some folksy.
Oh,
wisdom.
I just made that up right then.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
That's not an age-old parable. No, see, that wasn't Benedict Arnold. That was George Washington. They saw you as a general, a
A
leader.
pioneer, yeah.
I asked whichever Optic J or Optic something.
Yes.
Optic J, probably, yeah.
Ryan.
And I was like, "Is that Benedict Arnold?" And he said, "Yeah."
Well,
I was like, "Damn, dude."
I'm trying to think whose booth it would be in. Like, who did you piss off individually? Because there were so many people at that company at that towards the end.
Right. I don't know. Here's what I imagined to be my offense. There was a time when X-Jaws and I went in there, and we just, like, on behalf of everyone really, but ourselves too, we negotiated some better things. Like, we used to get paid quarterly, and it was hard to live off a quarterly paycheck. You know, like it's the cash flow is too lumpy. It all dumps
I remember
in
the
and then-
court. Yeah, I remember it.
And also, there was no, like, you couldn't really look at your views and your pay. They weren't monetizing some of the content. And I was like, man, it's really hard to even know what your paycheck's going to be. So, like, if we had a steady rate, then I could look at it and be like, this month's paycheck is going to be
PDFs
X.
they sent us. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was your doing.
So they improved the way that people got paid. It became monthly, and it became more directly tied into your views. So you could look at your views and calculate really closely what your pay was going to be. And they, like, that was, like, as we're in there talking about that, I'm looking at me as Benedict Arnold, like I'm awful. And I was like, I didn't think I was so bad. They seemed like...
What do you put it this way? You were doing the Lord's work. They were all, and I know Optic J really well. Actually, he's a good friend of mine. But it's one of those things where, like, he came into my office a long time ago and was like, "We're improving the partner program. We're going to make it so much better. Everyone's going to like us more and more." And then he ended up leaving Machinima. So either way, I think what you were doing was correct, because there were a lot of people at Machinima that were not doing the right thing. so I'm glad that you did those things. I'm glad all of you guys put up with the partner managers there. Because
Why didn't they take my videos out of the Dropbox?
Let's relitigate that one.
About that. Anthony,
Short Wars.
you take that video out of my Dropbox, you upload it to Respawn right now.
Tucker, you're gonna have to
man.
wait. We have another Junkyard quickie to
Yes.
prioritize.
Hey, Ken Burton here, making small 30-second content. That sounded like.
Oh my god, I forgot all about that.
I feel so bad for all of you guys because you were on that side of it, and they were all, like I said, they were all really good friends of mine I've known for years, and there were a few people at the very, very top of Machinima that were making real bad decisions, and we all knew it.
Yeah.
We all knew it. So
Yeah.
it was one of those things where, you know, we wanted.
Cal, you
I
alright?
always felt bad for all the partners because you guys had to deal with it, and eventually that's why we left. Just so you know.
Yeah. Too much snow. Yeah.
What's that to us?
Yeah.
It's snowing in Atlanta. You just got out of prison, Kyle. You can't go back.
Yeah, you did just get out of
It
prison.
would have been interesting if Machinima gave us visibility into what they were earning. Like when you work with a normal agent, they usually tell you, like, look, I take 20%, I take 5%, you know, whatever. And you guys are kind of on the same team, motivated to make that percentage of something as big as possible. With Machinima, that didn't exist. You didn't know what they were taking. It just seemed like they were getting mucho rich and we weren't. And, you know, if they were just sort of open and honest with their accounting, that would have gone a long way.
Oh, absolutely. And it was they really I mean, that's why they're out of business now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, if they were open and honest with a lot of things, I think they would still be here. But
Yeah.
Yep. And they were not getting mucho rich, just so you know.
So they didn't even like.
Well, their
get a nice
expenses were
payday?
high.
Yeah.
I mean,
When
I'm
did you
sure-
leave Machinima?
Oh, I left at the beginning of 2015. So at the very end of 2014 is when we started thinking about leaving.
Okay, so a long time ago. Were there any? I mean, I know a lot of those guys are your buddies. You have to sell them down the river. Were there any times like shit was going down there or behaviors that you witnessed and you're like, this ship is sinking?
All the time.
Yeah.
No, literally all the time. I mean, like, and that's why, because we all stuck together. It was one of those things where, like, and again, generally speaking, at the people at Machinima, for the most part, the people that I knew and worked with to get like side by side were great. And it was just the decisions above them. And this is the same, like, not to go off on a tangent, but this is the same thing that I've seen all across my entire career in the gaming industry. Is everywhere I go in the gaming industry, it's like the people at my level that are like doing the work and awesome, they're great people. it's right above them that they don't know what the fuck is going on, and then they think they know what's going on, and that's the worst part of it. So I just don't get it. Sorry about the motorcycle. There's a giant motorcycle.
Is that what that was?
It sounded like a monster
a
roaring.
huge cock.
Like,
Dude, he's got a giant cock, and I tell him every day. So
yeah, I tell him every night.
yeah, but I don't know. That's the common thread everywhere I've been, is that the people above, the people that do the work, just are enforcing these terrible policies.
Yeah. You're like the hardworking middle class, and they're like the bougie, champagne and caviar people. Yeah.
I mean,
Bourgeoisie.
it seems like the place to be in this business is agent, right? Like most people. Oh, okay. I'm interested in your thoughts, but the way my head is wired is this: all these top guys come and go, right? They all have curves, right? At some point, Shroud, who I guess is king of the game right now, will either not want to be king of the game, or people will find a new toy to play with. The same thing is, who's the Ninja is what I'm thinking of, right?
You can't ego Ninja like that. Who's that guy? Ninja, like
Ego. It's not ego. I'm not his demo, dude. I'm not, like, I know. So, Ninja's hugely valuable. But at some point, like, he might not even be motivated by money anymore. He might be like, I have freaking 30 million. Why am I subjecting myself to online comments every day, right? But if you're the agent and you're taking whatever, 5, 10, 20% of this, then you just get to roll from winner to winner to winner and collect money in perpetuity. That's
yeah. I mean, like in a perfect world, your agents have to continuously prove that they are worth, somebody else getting picked up. So if they don't do a good job, then like now you're left with a bunch of like okay clients. And then, the often not talked about section is that your agent or manager, depending on the situation, is responsible for the shit that you make, right? Like your cleanup, right? So if you fuck up, guess who's dealing with it? It's not me, it's the agency. So, like putting people in that position is definitely makes it, I guess, a little bit like evens the scales. I would love to collect checks in perpetuity and, negotiate for people and then not have to travel anywhere, and then you just get a percentage. But like, at least in terms of the people that represent me, like they represent 6 or 7 people each, and each one of those person is a small like group of the pie. So there's like, it's just like a different angle to make money, but it's still like a lot of fucking work. I think like marketing would be the easiest part, not the easiest, but like the least stressful.
Yeah, because there's no impact on them. Like if somebody markets Tucker or me and they go, hey, these guys are going to do this thing, and then we go in and fuck up because of some other mistake or whatever, we are the ones on trial.
Yeah.
Not the marketers.
The marketing team are like, well, we did our research and we got some good clients. Like, we'll not hire them again. And everybody's like, all right, roll them up, next one.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you wouldn't want to intro David Duke.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of fans in West Virginia, and I thought mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. There's also another whole. Not to get this. I don't want this to turn into the business podcast, but it's one of those things where if an agent is, like you said, collecting checks in perpetuity, eventually, as they're fucking people over along the way, eventually all of us are going to go, don't ever work with this person. And so as we stay in the industry longer, they're going to burn all their bridges and they're going to be gone.
Except it's not. Oh, that wasn't where my head was. Like I wasn't in my hypothetical agency career. I'm not fucking anyone over. Like he's making way more money than he would have without me, right? Hopefully, I'm good at this job, and I'm bringing him Papa John's or whatever.
Thought about some of the tattoos I would have gotten 10 years ago, and I'm glad I don't have them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why do I think
Machinima!
Right here.
No, Machinima, premier director.
Yo, I would love
You're like
to have.
taking your shirt off slow at the gym. You're like,
I think I'm gonna get. I swear to God, I think I'm gonna get the fucking Machinima Respawn logo somewhere on me.
if
I'm
you
not
do
sure.
that, I
You
won't
were
talk
a
to you.
premier director, right?
Can't,
Blake?
can't
Yeah.
do that.
You
We
were.
were all-
They wouldn't accept me.
Oh, weren't we all?
We
Well,
all
we might have
okay.
known.
They
Actually,
made
only
me a
Lane
premier
was. There
director
were
at
like
some point.
5.
Oh,
No,
okay.
then they expanded it and they started giving it to everyone.
They
I
give
thought-
it to literally hundreds.
I'm
of people.
pretty sure we all got participation trophies
I
at
was
some
a
point.
fucking nobody and I got it.
That was
Maybe I got it.
Thanks.
I don't know.
Thank you, Taylor.
But there was a time when there were like 5, and it meant that if you put it on their channel, you were like at the head of the line.
Yeah.
There was the Junkyard days.
Yeah. Initially, it was like Junkyard, Ken Burns, C. Nanners, Hutch. Like those were
Blame
the
Truth, right?
Yeah,
I was
Blame Truth, I think
on
got
that
in there.
short
Yeah,
list.
one of the big guys who got it. And I remember at the time thinking like, that's so cool. I'm just a regular director and they're premium.
I was talking to my wife about dirty
I-
business people and how it killed Machinima, right? Like if you make a win-win deal, okay, an agent should take somewhere between like 5 and 50% of your pay, depending on what you bring to the table. If you're like a pro hockey player, they take like a couple percent for negotiating your contract, but you're really the guy making it happen. If you're a no-name actress or YouTuber and they bring a big deal to you, the agent can take half of it, but it's almost fair because without them, there would have been no deal.
Yeah.
Right. The same is not true in the NHL. There would have been a deal. Hopefully they made it better by more than you paid them. Cool. Machinima would take 90% of your money. EA had a deal with Machinima, and it was like a $10 CPM, and it might have been 80%. It was a $10 CPM, and Machinima took 8 of those dollars and gave 2 to the director.
They didn't take that much from me, but I signed with them before.
Pause. I'm still going.
Oh, no problem.
EA found out about it and stopped working with Machinima and started working directly with directors. They cut out Machinima from the deal because Machinima was fucking everybody over. That's the kind of like fuck over shit that seemed like you were making tons of money once when they could have made less money again and again and again and again. And it's a bad call.
You're 100% right.
They could be massive right now. They could be one of like the tent poles of YouTube and gaming. They could have so much, and they
were
nothing.
Bad businessmen in an outstanding position to succeed. And a big part of why they failed is, well, one, they invested a ton of money trying to be the stars themselves instead of agents to the stars. And two, the agents of the stars thing, they were crooks.
Yeah, every part of their business like venture was like the short-term gains kind of thing. It was a pump it and dump it kind of scheme. They just wanted to milk it dry when it was clear that it had so much potential. Like they had so much talent.
What were you trying to say, Blame Tooth?
I was just gonna say I didn't get paid. I think because I signed on so early, I got some kind of weird deal where I was getting more than you said they would take like 90% or whatever. I think mine was closer to like they would only take about half with my particular deal.
This was a specific thing having to do with an EA opportunity that was for a few videos on Battle State or whatever Battlefield.
I had no idea. I just went to Machinima and Machinima Respawn's channel. They deleted all their videos. They're just 100% dead.
Yeah.
I tried to apply for them way back in the day, and unfortunately they turned me down, so I can't be with the cool kids like you guys. But Yaush hit me up. Y'all remember Yaush?
Oh, I do remember Yaush.
I signed to them. I was on a 60-40 deal for 7 years before I noticed.
Dude, I remember when Machinima sent out, like we all had our contracts, with our set CPM amount. And I remember talking to like Woody and Kyle and other people at the time when they sent out those new contracts, you remember? And it was like a new, because they made you sign a perpetuity contract. And then they sent a new contract out, and all that it did was if you signed it and sent it back, you would get less money. Like, that's all that it was. And I remember talking to like Woody, Kyle, other smart people. I was a fucking child at the time. And I'm like, are you guys like signing these and sending them back? What's going on? And everyone was like, fuck no, dude. Do not sign that. Do not send it back. You are signed on a perpetuity contract with them. They can't undo that one. They're trying to like supersede that with this new signing. Don't do it. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Hey, guys, real quick before Kyle gets back, do you think if I ask him nicely, he'll unblock me on Twitter?
He probably doesn't have his Twitter login.
If Kyle even had access to his
I don't even know, bro. I'm blocked.
I would be shocked if he knew his own password.
You're blocked? No, but I can do you one better. I'll block you on Twitter right now.
My guy, thank you.
How about
he blocked me in like 2012 when I asked to come on the podcast. Long ago. I was like, yo, guys, can I come on the podcast? So I just like tweeted it and it got probably 6 retweets. He's like, blocked.
Dude, I tried to work with Yaush. Here's what happened. Like so for starters, I made a lot of videos. I made at first 1 video a day, and then I got to be 2 videos a day. And at my peak, I got a good amount of views, like 150 to 250,000 views a video. Cool. So Yaush would have these deals where like it was first come, first serve, but it was like 1 million views. So And then for that million views, though, the CPM was really high. It'd be like $4, and they circled me in, and I'm like, sweet, sign me up. I'll take a $4 on top of the whatever I got already, like 2 or 2.5 or something. And then of their million view inventory that they had to sell, I would take like 550,000 of it over that week, and the rest of their network would split the other 450, and they kicked me out of the network for like, because I guess I wasn't
For
really
dominating too hard.
yeah, they came. Well, part of it was my videos get views, but another part of it was I made so fucking many. I'm making like 2 every day, and it just, but when it ran out, I used up all their things, and they kicked me out of the network. So
I totally forgot
That's
about
so funny.
Youch.
I miss the old days, man, when it was like for sure a community. Like we all knew that there was like only 50 of us. And even though at the time maybe I started in 2010, so I only had a few thousand subs like that year. But I feel like these big guys were reaching out to me. I did a dual com with Wings of Redemption back in the day. It's like the community is just tight knit. You too, right? That's crazy.
We've all done dual comms with Wings.
No, Taylor, no, come on. Yeah.
No, I've done a dual comm with Wings.
Did you?
No way.
I came in there, dude.
yeah.
I was so prepared for my dual com with Wings of Redemption. It was like my big shot. I gave him some gameplay that I thought was pretty good. You did too, Kyle. And I had talking points and timestamps. So like wherever the conversation went, if there was ever a down, like a down moment or like a silent part, it was like, here's the thing coming up at 1 minute and 54 seconds that I'll explain. And like, I was more than prepared for that. I had a spawn kill in that video where like, okay, one of the rules in Call of Duty is if you were looking at a spawn, the person wouldn't spawn there. So you never really saw people spawn. But there was a bit of a glitch on this match, and that if you looked at it through a chain link fence, which you could shoot through, they would spawn right in front of you. And for a period in the game, I just sat there killing people as they popped up in front of my sights. And I don't know, it was the kind of thing people like to learn. So I got.
You want to hear the best thing about my dual com with Wings is that it took me a little bit of time because I had to get a sniper Moab in MW3 and free for all, which was tough.
Gosh darn,
I ended up doing it, and. He took like a way long time. I forget what it was, a period about a couple months before he got around to doing the dual com with me. And then he didn't even link me.
Oh,
and like I had won the whole competition to do this.
That stinks.
I remember I was like nervous leading up to my dual com with Wings and my dual com with Woody, because they were both very big guys. And I was like, this is your chance. I remember like thinking for some reason that like Wings was like a consummate professional about like in my head, like this is 2010. And so I went into it, and I was like, we were sitting on the call before we were going to start, and I'm like nervous, my heart's pounding. I'm like, I hope I give a good impression because he's such a big guy. He's got 12,000 subs or 20,000 subs, whatever it was. And like right before we start, I'm like ready to go. He's like, you good? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay. Well, hold on a minute. I got to go TT.
Wait,
and
what
was
is
like,
TT? Did he have to poop?
No, he had to go pee. And I was like,
but he said TT.
Gotta go
That's what he said.
It's like
okay,
PP, but...
okay, that's
all right, buddy.
Can I tell you my story?
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm all excited, right? And I'm doing a dual com with Wings, like my big chance. And I'm prepared, and I've got all my ducks in a row, and I'm ready to do this dual com. He cancels on me. We have to do another day. Okay, all right. I get this is nothing to you, but to me, this is my big moment. But fine. The next day, we're about to do our dual com. And he's like, what do you do for constipation?
Well, do you have a grandma?
I was like, frosted mini wheats is kind of magic on me. Maybe.
Wings is great, man. He was one of the first guys I ever watched, actually. I think like him, Chris Smoove, some of the Optic guys. So when I got around to doing the dual com with him, I was like the same way, Taylor. I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. I'm gonna throw up. And I still gained like a few thousand subscribers, but I think he ended up linking me like later in the week or something like that. But I was just like, oh shoot, that was my chance to really.
What if the reason he didn't link you is because he still had that constipation? Like
it's possible.
Every dual com, he just gets constipated.
He gets nervous too.
PJ, you shouldn't feel alone. He also forgot to link me.
Oh shoot, let's grab drinks sometime.
He linked me too. Yeah, like I didn't know who he was. He had seen like I don't know, maybe a Machinima video I'd uploaded, or maybe it was something on my channel, like some Modern Warfare 2 gameplay, and asked if I wanted to do a dual com, and I was like, well, I don't think I have any footage, any gameplay to like give you right now to do one. Do you want to wait till I get some or whatever? I can get some this weekend, I'm sure. And he's like, let's just do my video, and you just come talk with me. I was like, fine, that's perfect. That's less work for me, and I can continue to get paid for my own stuff. And if you say, that works. And that's that infamous thing where like he's talking to me about being on the Korean, like going to Korea to play StarCraft or whatever. And I didn't know any better. I'm blown away. I'm like, God, this guy's like some sort of like elite global gaming athlete. Like, like I'm in rarefied like air here. Like I better be nice to this guy. Maybe he could show me the ropes on the global scene. I believed it all. I thought that this guy was so cool. Terrific. He seemed so confident. His gameplay was so good. And apparently he'd like traveled the world, like plying his trade. I was impressed.
That's so amazing when you look back at like all that stuff. And like, I think Taylor had just said he had 12,000 subscribers. Is huge. I remember when I first heard that, like some of these guys were making $1,000 a month from playing games. I was blown away. I was like, dude, if I can make $1,000 a month, I wouldn't need anything anymore. I could do whatever I wanted.
My first paycheck, it was $2,000, and I got it when I was 18. Yep, from YouTube and stuff. And I remember just being like, "Holy shit!" Like, I'm dropping out of college. And
How old are you now?
I am 32, about to be 33 in March. Yeah.
Ooh, happy early birthday!
Thank you. It's funny you guys mentioned Wings. I never did a dual com with Wings. I've always been cordial with him over the years.
He doesn't think you like him.
I like him. It's because I use him as he's got some memes, so I use those in videos sometimes.
I feel like even if you don't like Wings, you can't help but like him.
No, I think I'm like, he might have saw me. He might have saw me in the troll Discord. I would go there for meme clips to put in my videos and stuff like that.
I think he also felt like you never did a dual com with him and you were like shutting him out of the cool kids club.
I mean, it wasn't that because I did a dual com.
Because like CNNers did do that to him.
Yeah.
CNNers was like that.
Because it was kind of messed up because like everybody went to Call of Duty 5 World at War for like a minute. And then they were like, you know what? 4 was the way to go. Let's keep making videos of that. And they kind of did. And that game, the content evolved for another year. But there were 2 guys who like made videos of World at War, and they were CNNers and they were Wings of Redemption. And it only made sense for them to like collaborate at some point because they were the only guys on the scene that like even did videos for the shit.
Yeah.
And Wings always felt like CNNers was like really snubbing him by not like wanting to collaborate in some way.
Wings was correct.
He was correct. And this was before Wings had ever said anything that you could judge too harshly. He was just kind of he was the campy guy who liked to like shit on people, that was it.
Yeah, and he was a little red, right? Whereas CNNers, like Wings of Redemption,
blue, you mean?
I'm saying redneck, but nice.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Whereas CNNers drank wine.
Yeah,
he enjoyed his rosé or whatever it is with his games, and at night they were different people.
Yeah, they were very different people.
True. With that said, though, I mean, I did dual comms with fucking like Hutch back in the day, and who like Tabe. I don't know if you guys remember him.
Tabe's been on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
What does Tabes do now? Does anybody know?
I think he streams. I don't think he likes me very much because I called Hutch a retard. And I think he likes Hutch. So I think he unfollowed me. But
he must really like Hutch. That's all it took.
Tucker, what was the one you fucked up? McDonald's, right?
McDonald's.
Right. So
How'd you fuck up McDonald's?
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, Tucker, what happened with that?
Oh man, dude! I'm going to try and be as plain as possible at the risk of like not exacerbating an already awful situation. But I was trying, so I was doing a sponsored integration with 3 specific people, with Twitch, Uber Eats, and McDonald's all at the same time. And I was ordering McDonald's, and a year ago for their 50th anniversary, a Big Macs, they had sent me 100 redeemable like fake gilded Big Mac coins in a box, and I was like, perfect opportunity to just be like, see, I've worked with McDonald's, I've always wanted to work with McDonald's, like I'm a fan, I still got these from a year ago. I brought it in, and just like like a Freudian slip, like calling your teacher mom, I was like, McDonald's sent me a box of 50 Whopper coins.
Oh no!
Literally, This was literally as they were pushing me to front page and shit. And like, I didn't even realize it. So I said it. I was like, yeah, like it was just super awesome. Them, you can redeem these for Whoppers anywhere. And then I
double down, Tucker.
I heard what I said, and I was like, oh Jesus, okay, clearly mistake, whatever. I like put it back to the start stream, re-introed like as a joke, and then kept going on. And then the other part, which this is so dumb. I was playing Super Smash Brothers, and I main a character Rob. This little Nintendo dude.
Yeah.
Right. He has a red skin. The entirety of the time that I've been playing Rob, that's referred to as Red Robin. Red Robin, which I've never been to, is apparently a competitive burger chain for McDonald's. So I said that fucking thing too, and they were livid because apparently, unbeknownst to me, I was the front man for the entire like campaign that McDonald's was going to launch with Twitch. I was like the first one to do it. So understandably, like everybody's just screaming at each other, and my dumb ass is sitting here like, yeah, I've done hundreds of sponsors, like hundreds, and I've not ever had a negative comment from any company, right? And this is the one that I went and fucked up twice. Even though, like, definitely I understand. There was no, like, malice. I wasn't trying to meme. It was, like, very clearly a misspoken thing. But, like, at the end of the day, it's business. It's business is business. So
they're looking for a performance they didn't get, right?
Right. So I told this. It gets worse because I told.
Oh my God.
I got this. I know.
What's left?
So now I have to dress as Ronald McDonald for the rest of the year.
So then I was like, man,
this is indeed.
this whole thing's going in and out.
So I immediately, as soon as I heard that they were understandably livid, I was like, hey, like, let me know what I can do to rectify the issue. Like, let me do some pro bono streams. Like, I'll do some tweets for you guys. Like, I just want to make sure that you, like, if you don't want to work with me ever again, fine. But let's at least get this to a neutral, like, you rectified the issue that you've created kind of thing.
Yeah.
So still haven't heard back on the plausibility of that.
I can picture the marketing guy who initially gave the proposal, like the marketing deck being like, and this is why Tucker, aka Jericho, is a perfect launching point for us. He does this, he does that. Here's examples of his sponsored spots in the past. Then like the next, as he's watching, that guy was sweating bullets. That guy was shitting his pants when you said Whoppers. And then when you started calling a character Red Robin, I guarantee if that guy were me, I'd be like, he's trolling us. Trolling McDonald's, son of a bitch.
And I get it. That's why, like, I when I got told that Red Robin was a burger chain, I looked at my phone and I was like, yeah, I guess this kind of all makes sense, huh? Like all this, like punitive, like all the punishments and stuff. So, long story short, I told this story just to like clarify why maybe there wouldn't be a lot of sponsored work coming through in the next couple months, because I'm put in the doghouse. And this fucking TMZ shit ass company that I'm not going to mention the name because I hate them. I won't give them press. This shit ass like gaming TMZ thing writes this entire fucking article right up detailing exactly how I messed up in all the situations. And that gets pushed to the front of like everybody's like Reddit pages. Live stream fails.
That's
puts
how
it
I
up
saw
on the
it.
top of that.
What's the name of that outlet? I want to read it and then
Tucker, my mom sent me the link.
It's just like everybody. It's so. Then I had to explain, like, no, I didn't go to them for comment. This trash site was just like writing on my behalf and just exacerbating like pouring salt in the wound. I'm just like, we're just trying to move past it and do what we can. But like, yeah,
how long
I'm in
ago
the
is this?
doghouse. Last week, 2 weeks ago.
So fucking funny.
So that wasn't a good example because that was a complicated example, but. The whole, like, your agent didn't do you wrong. You were probably happy to get that deal.
No, he's the one that fucked up.
No, right. But we were talking about agents being evil and ruining their name. Like, no, agents can do good work.
This is a client ruining an agent.
Yes.
Yeah, so now my agent. So listen, now my
somewhere
agent,
that man's walking with a cardboard box in his arms.
Yes.
Yeah. Like my poor agents, I love them. Like they do such good work for me. And I just they like I got a call and I looked at it and I was like, this is the group phone number, like the one where like both of my agents are calling together. And I was like, why are both my agents calling me at the same time? Because usually it's like big deal or I've never had a bad slip up. And so I answer and they just go, hey man. And I was like, oh no. I immediately knew it was about the mistake or the fucking fuck up.
But you only knew of the Whopper side of it when they called.
Yeah. Yeah. They explained the other half of it. And I was like, I'm so sorry guys. Like you Like you really don't need to be like spending extra time doing like an apology tour. You know, like usually that's something I'm comfortable handling. So I reached out to Twitch and like the whole sales team, everybody I knew, and I was like, I'm so sorry, guys. Like I put you in a bad position. But my agents are the one that have to deal with like the McDonald's legal teams and all that stuff. So
yeah, I bet they don't have that big of a legal team.
Yeah.
They put all the money right back into the product.
Oh my God.
And see what you need to do. Who was that guy who for the longest time was like that punchable big glass goober who was like, I get service everywhere with Sprint. And then they fired him and he was like, actually, I'm a T-Mobile man now. And like
he's Verizon or something, right?
Yeah, Verizon or something like that. Yeah. Not very good ads if I can't recall either company, but that's what you need to do. Get in touch with Burger King. Be like, I love the Whoppers so much I couldn't get him out of my mind, even while being paid by your biggest competitor.
No, because that's I fucking, you know what? You know what? No, I'm not gonna. We're gonna walk that one back. I was like,
I'm trying to help you. Don't.
There was
I'm trying to help the show.
We're recording this, you know.
This is gonna be live. No, there was a Wendy's tweet that I saw. Wendy's is making an RPG game where you can fight Ronald McDonald, and I was like, look, if McDonald's never wants to work with me again, I'll be sad because they're my preferred fast food chain outside of Chick-fil-A and Bojangles. But like,
I'm sure
Wendy's,
they're very honored to be number 3.
And Five Guys are surprised, but they're not really fast food.
Yeah.
You've never even been to Red Robin. That'd rock your world.
Oh God, I can't believe that going on this show was not the thing that ruined my.
I'll give us time, Tucker. A few more appearances.
We're working. I don't even need you guys anymore. Yeah.
Oh my God! Like, imagine if you'd been doing a KFC ad and you just went super racist with it. Like that would have been worse.
Would have been
like, see, that's what I like to do in scenarios like this. Imagine how things could have been much, much worse.
I did play the KFC. I did like a little thing with them. They had a anime dating game where you could date the Colonel. I played the shit out of that thing. It was a pretty reasonably funny game.
Okay.
Did you play it? Did you play it before or after the McDonald's fuck up?
Before. I'm thinking.
Okay, all right, that's good.
Look, all I'm saying is Ronald McDonald never took me to his cabin in the woods and sat by the fire with me and talked about his future. But
wow.
I would be uncomfortable if he did.
Yeah.
You know, Tucker, just so you know, if I ever meet anybody that works, I mean, like McDonald's or Twitch, and there is a like a chance that I'll meet someone that's involved in that campaign. I know Tucker. I've known him for years. He's the nicest dude in the world, and he would never do any of that shit on purpose. Yeah. So for me, this has happened before where I've had to like apologize for other people and be like, yo, they didn't mean to, the blah blah blah. I think they know that, so I'll put in a good word.
Make sure they understand. This is incompetence. this is negligence. It has nothing to do with it.
It's not negligence. It's incompetence and ignorance. It is not negligence.
People make mistakes, especially on live streams where they got to stream for hours and hours a day. That's just one of those things. That
imagine working with this show. We put Chiz in a position now and then. Like it's usually not something we did with the ad, like what Tucker did. It's we thought the sexual assault game where we guessed the age of his victims was funny.
That was funny, and I can't believe that sponsor pulled out.
Oh man,
I remember that. Who
was it that pulled out?
I'm gonna say the victim was an 8-year-old female, and he's a kitty diddler.
No, we didn't tie it into the sponsor. It was like
the sponsor didn't like that content was along
assault. We plugged them in the middle of the sexual assault game, and it was basically Chiz gave us like a bunch of pictures of people who had committed heinous crimes.
That was the problem. You just nailed it. The problem was we called it the sexual assault game right in the middle of Me Too.
Yeah.
Tucker, I'm not putting in a good word. Right. I am not putting in a good word for them about the sex.
How. There's nobody that needs to like they still somehow manage to wrangle some sponsors in here, you know. Like I think we're doing all right.
As long as we put it next to that kind of content, we're good. But you're right. The naming, not good.
It does sometimes segue.
Like of pedophiles.
Speaking of porn sites, let us introduce our sponsor, Squarespace.
Yeah, but that's a good organic. You know,
I'm sure they
I'm sure they do.
I wonder if they have terms of service about that.
Last time we were talking, you talked about like fucking people super hard on Casper mattresses, and I was like,
"Yeah, with your rock hard dick."
Wow, with your rock hard blue chew cock. You know?
That's right. Yes.
See, they like that.
They love that. And the sexual assault game was basically we found this. We had this list of sex offenders, and you had their mugshot and like their age and a few other facts. And just by looking at the guy's face, we would take a guess as to what his victim might have been. Was it an 8-year-old girl? Was it a 16-year-old boy? What does this creep get into?
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, was it rape? Was it like
indecent
fondling,
exposure,
some sort of molestation, child pornography?
Much harder
What was he
game than you
into?
would think.
That it is a really
Real
tough game,
hard.
but do you not remember when we did Pentacon, which is a thing that I actively still do?
I was so low on the totem pole of Machinima when I was there that I never got any actual benefits. I remember getting all the fucking emails in like 2010, 2011 where they're like, oh, we're gonna, we're starting a new Machinima thing where, we're gonna let your channel like other videos in our network, and that'll, internally promote our self-sustaining economy, or whatever, like the email said. And it was like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat. So maybe I'll upload a video one day, and FPS Russia will have liked it, and Woody's Gamertag and CNanners will have liked it. Not a once did I receive a like from someone's videos, but every 3 hours I would see a little notification on my phone of, you have liked someone's fucking Dead Space parody. No, I didn't watch that, but I liked huge swaths of the same videos, and God, I hated that so much, because it was just a way to get all like the 100,000 subscribers people in my area to basically give free promotion to the Woody level people. And at the time, it was even higher up.
Shame yourself.
So it was. So what they were promoting was things
Kyle's
that they put
videos.
money into. That's not even true. They promoted me twice in the whole life of the thing. What they were promoting mostly was like that Mortal Kombat series that they spent like millions of dollars on. That Halo like live action thing that they spent millions of dollars on. The things of mine that they pushed though were like, I don't know, they were $15,000 like I'm trying to think of the exact one that we pushed. Something really fucking cool. It deserved being fucking pushed.
I reached out to him twice,
anyway.
2 or 3 times, but at least twice to try to get a video promoted. And the bulk of my videos were like videos I made that day and then uploaded commentary, etc. But the ones I wanted pushed, both of them I think were music videos. Like ones I would hire Tryhard Ninja. I would write the lyrics, I would choose the song, and then Tryhard Ninja would sing it, and he would hire a band, like based on the budget that I gave him, and they would perform the music. So it was all like, apparently that was the way to beat copyright. If you use their instrumental, you're screwed. But if you perform the whole song yourself, then you have a right to it, which is why Shucks You is still on my channel. And then I would reach out to Machinima and ask for the push, and it was always no. It was always like they needed weeks in advance of notice and like consternation and thinking that's a lie, right? A lie. Yeah, because you told me they would push. You just call them up, like you pick up the red phone.
That's not what I said. What I said was
that's how I made it. It's my story. I'll tell it like I want to.
I'm making up as I so damn well please.
No,
Go ahead.
What happened was that Aaron was at my house, the guy who owns Machinima, and we've got my computer there, and I'm like, look at what I just did. Ben Stiller called me on the phone the other day and wanted to find out who I was and thought I was funny. He put me in touch with his production company, and I worked with them to promote their movie and made this flamethrower video. Check it out. And he was like, that's a big deal. We should push this. And I was like, I think so too.
I agree.
Push it. And like we click refresh and it goes boom. like not that the video exploded or anything because it wasn't even uploaded. Or yeah, I guess it was uploaded at that point. Not that the video exploded because it was already like doing super well, but like every other channel liked it instantly and favorited it.
See, in the Machinima world, you and CNanners and Captain Sparkles, like have you ever seen like a resort in Jamaica where it has that hard line of like corrugated tin roofs and then a wall and then gigantic palatial estates where people are enjoying vacation? In the world of Machinima, it was always like, I can almost see Kyle on his balcony from here in my little shit shack in my corner of Machinima. And I even wondered, I was wondering, like, is anybody from Machinima keeping tabs on me at all? Because they sent out an email and it was like, we are now requiring all partners to put the Machinima intro and Machinima outro on all our videos. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to see how long it takes them to come to me and say, hey, we noticed that you haven't been doing this. And it's been 6 years, and I have not done it. And
I was one of the.
There you go.
I was
I
one
didn't
of
get
the.
anything special. I don't feel like so we. I know we for sure pushed that flamethrower video and maybe one other, but I don't remember. But other than that, like, there was no like fun relationship with like Hutch had like this relationship with Machinima because he worked there, obviously, where like everybody there seemed to love him and it all was hunky dory. I think Woody was on the opposite end of the spectrum of that, where like they're throwing like.
No. So there was a time when I was very much like one of Machinima's most important partners. So like I met with Aaron Debwall. We went out to lunch and stuff, and like a lot of the things I wanted contract wise started happening when everyone got those raises and such. That was because me and a few other guys were getting offers from outside of Machinima, and they raised the contract. And they talked about having variable rates, but we made the flat rate something because I was like, I've got a family, I've got like a mortgage, I've got this, I've got that. I really need predictability in my payment. I want to be looking at the views I made this month and then just run the math and know what my check will be this month. That means a lot to me. What we had in the past, which was, I don't know how the freaking stuff was calculated, and you didn't know what was mobile and this and that. And I was like, I need predictability in payment, and they wrote that down and then they gave it to me. And I talked to him about like, I forget, I think C-Nanners made a video on how he was embarrassed to be in this community of money grubbing whores or something close to that. And I was like, I don't really like that. I felt like it was pointed at me, because some of the things he was mentioning, like daily uploads, that's me. And they're like, you know what? Actually, at this point, you get 4 times as many views as C-Nanners does. You're a lot more important to us than he is. And I'm sure that situation's changed, but that's what they said at lunch. And, so I was, I was one of their more viewed partners, top 5, top 10 or something. They had a special program that gave like everyone else, when they needed support from Machinima, went through these channels. And then they had one for like 10 people. And I was one of that. Like I had a special access line. But
okay, I see. I thought there was a time when they were like throwing darts at you or something.
At the staff level. Like, so that's the ownership level, like giving me access to programs, giving me like the contracts, and I guess the stuff that really mattered. I walked the Machinima offices, and someone had literally photoshopped my face on like Benedict Arnold's body and hung it on their cube. Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I feel like Woody Woody got a raise, and the people that up there like lost their like party bonus or something like that. They couldn't have birthday parties anymore.
So. No more fucking Keurig machine in the break room.
All right, they're wheeling it out.
Everybody got a raise.
This is Woody's gamer tag. You see our cappuccino machine walking out the door? That's Woody's gamer tag. So when his shit comes in here, you know what to do. And the whole room chants, "Throw it in the trash."
Everybody got it.
When was that breaking point with you with Machinima? See, with a lot of creators, myself included, even being with Maker, and as I'm about to freely walk up out of that contract deal, as it comes to a close next month, oh Lord Jesus, you know the time when a partner took care of you the best, but then came that breaking month where nothing happened every single week after that breaking month. Do you remember that time?
For me, like I never needed a lot of care. Like I just wanted a paycheck. That was all they did. Like in my mind, their job was to monetize my videos. And if they brought any branded integration deals or something to the plate, then yay. But then I guess Machinima ran into financial trouble and they redid nearly everybody's contract. And that was it. So they came to me and they wanted to give me some sort of giant pay cut. So I was like, oh, well, I'll go to some place that wants to give me a pay raise instead. And that's how that went down.
I think I am still on that perpetuity contract because I just never revisited it, and I don't upload enough to make it matter one bit.
I could write a book about what it took to get away from Machinima. It was just this years long battle where like they would send us a contract and we would be like, no, we will not sign that contract. Fix these things. And then they would send the same fucking contract back and we'd be like, ditto. Here it is. and you think that like, well, how many times could that happen? Like twice, right? Before someone like blows a gasket. But no, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, just keep doing it. I'll stay on the same money, but you're not going to pay me less. You're not going to pay me more, and you're going to let me out of this and that. Or I'm not going to sign a new contract. And years went by, and lawyers were involved, and there was finally like some big buyout, and there was it was a real mess.
You've had a rougher time on YouTube than the overwhelming majority of people. Maybe just because of the content that you create, like guns, more people are willing to come after you and like hold you to a strict standard.
Yeah, I just think I have bad luck. I stubbed my toe twice today. Like it was bleeding.
Same toe.
It's just bad luck.
Damn.
But,
so what happened with makers? What
if there was never a YouTube? What would you be doing today? What do you think?
We'd all probably be Vimeo partners.
For me, it's really clear. Like, I had kind of an established career path as my YouTube channel was taking off. I worked at Cisco for like 13 years. I would either be a manager or some sort of technical leader in Cisco's IT department, probably. Yeah, they liked me a lot there. Probably not anymore because I've talked some shit since then. but by and large, yeah, it was a good experience there.
I don't know what I would have done. I'd have probably started some sort of a business. That was kind of my idea anyway. Was I liked the idea of like money making money, and I kind of like transitioned to that mindset anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, I still would have found my way into the business world somehow because this is not my. Unlike Kyle and Woody, I never made YouTube a full-time gig. Like it was.
You were.
It was always more of just. Yeah, I was a student at the time. Like when I was actually uploading, I was a student, so my job at the time was to do well in school and then whatever other jobs I was doing. But
have you ever considered, like, what if I had just dropped every ounce of schoolwork and put everything that was in me into YouTube? Could I be Captain Sparkles, or could I be, could I have made that be my thing?
I don't know what Captain Sparkles does.
I don't either.
He does. I do know he does Minecraft. He's a Minecraft channel, I think, and I remember talking to him. I was in a chat in like 2011 with All Sham No Wow, Captain Sparkles, and Sea Nanners, and it was right when Captain Sparkles switched his name to Captain Sparkles because I guess it was some bet he had with Sea Nanners.
No,
and he did that.
The story I hear is it was advice. His original name was Pros Don't Talk Shit, if I recall.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and Sea Nanners said that he's like, if you want to be really popular, you should get into Minecraft and you should change your name to something. He might have said Captain Sparkles in particular, or he might have just said, make this thing G-rated.
Yeah, I really just I could tell once Captain Sparkles got going on that new channel that he would get big because he has the personality. It's very difficult to dislike that guy. He's just a genuinely friendly, easy to listen to dude. But I don't know. I have a very different personality from him. So I don't think I could have started a successful Minecraft channel and had anybody get... Because I would have played maybe 3 hours of Minecraft and been like, oh my god, how many months can I stretch this video? Because I do not want to hop back in and play this silly little fake Lego game. I don't think I could have made it a full-time thing. I'm not good enough at editing. I
don't think Captain Sparkles likes me. So we went to this COD XP thing, and I was at my peak. I was like one of the top 50 most viewed and growing channels at YouTube at the time. Like I used to go to VidStats and would have these channel rankings, and I was always like the 58th fastest growing channel or something like that. So this is me. Or 68th anyway, doesn't matter. This is me like at my prime, and I saw Captain Sparkles, and he was just releasing his first animated Minecraft videos, right? So they would be music and stuff, and I was so impressed with his work. Like they're amazing videos, and I was like, dude, that's incredible. That's this, that's that, and I was doing songs on the same level, but I wasn't doing the animation type stuff. I think he went to school for it, and I was kind of like prying his head, like, hey, what does it take to get this done? Like, how do you do it? Like, do you do it all yourself? Do you hire other people? And he was just kind of like, yeah, like some people are good at some stuff, and some people just don't know how to do it. I'm like, oh, well, fuck. Like, all right then.
Basically, if you don't know, you just don't know.
Yeah, I was like, all right, so I get like, okay, I guess you don't want to be friends. And then I saw...
I guess you don't want to be friends. I think it was more likely that he's like, fuck, I'm just starting this series up, and now this other giant YouTuber's like, hey, can you give me the secret sauce to that success you're having right now? And he's like, I just happen to be a real good animator, so best of luck to you. I'm not sending you my guys.
I saw him more recently.
Spices you use.
Call it like 2013 or 14, I'm not sure. But we're both in like this VIP room at the Minecraft. There's a conference they do every year called Minecon, and amongst Minecraft people, this is like the biggest, craziest thing. And I'm speaking on a panel about how to make servers successful, and he's speaking on a panel too. I don't know what his panel was about, probably about being a famous YouTuber. And so we're both in like the VIP room in the background, like, I don't know, doing shit, getting food or something. And I saw him there and recognized him and tried to like strike up a conversation. And he kind of just big time me, like you know, I'm like, hey Jordan, how you doing? Like, yeah, you know, congratulations on your YouTube channel. He's like, oh yeah, it like killed it. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna be some fucking hanger on who, like, you know, can I have a selfie or something? And I just let him keep doing what he was doing, and that was my interaction with Captain Sparkles.
Like, I haven't seen any content of Dr. Disrespect in, I guess,
a decade.
It sounds old. I think you were right about like 14, 15 years, because I remember how he'd be dressed up in his getup, and then he'd transition into Randy wearing like sweatbands on a treadmill and be like, you have to keep going to be the ultimate gamer, or like some shit like that. And I remember at the time seeing it and being like, man, these only have like 8,000 views, like, which even then wasn't a lot. And then he exploded and got a little too big for his britches, seemingly, starts messaging underage people.
You know what's crazy, too? He was bad at the game. Like, somehow he went from console to PC, and unlike the rest of us, he just got super good at games. Like, I mean, not super good.
Oh,
but
you think he was bad in the early days?
He was always bad on this controller. Like, he was bad at Modern Warfare. His videos, it'd be like, "This is one step above a Junkyard quickie." You know,
how did he win 2 Blockbuster championships?
What the fuck is a Blockbuster? I'm sorry, I don't know what a Blockbuster championship is.
He's a 2-time Blockbuster champion.
Oh, that's the stick he's got. Yeah.
Yeah. What's he up to now?
Who? Dr. Disrespect?
Junkyard.
Blockbuster's gone. I don't know. He
Junkyard had a heart attack.
Entrepreneur. Oh, wait, you made that up. I'm not
I did.
It was pretty good.
He always seemed like a nice guy. I never really knew him.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
That's about all I knew.
Yeah, we're just annoyed by like his presence in our community, I suppose. There was just a Tupperware salesman inexplicably making Call of Duty videos. It was
there was a real high school lunch table vibe back then at some point. We'd be like, yeah, everybody, this is who we're bullying. And then smaller channels would be like, okay, I don't want to be bullied.
So I follow Formula One a lot.
That wasn't
it. In Formula One, they're all great drivers. And there's 20 drivers, and probably the 16th best driver is this guy named Lance Stroll. His dad owns his team. Everybody else in his shoes is worried they're going to lose their seat. That's what they call losing their job. Except this guy whose dad owns the team. Everyone's dad is rich. Every one of these kids is a Nepo baby. But multi-billionaire, that's just one. You know, most of their fathers have a measly like 185 million, something like that. Yeah, fucking barely a pot to piss in. But this guy's dad is a multi-billionaire, and he bought the team so that his kid could live his dream of being an F1 driver, and everybody hates him. He's not even the worst driver on the grid, but because he's such a doesn't deserve his spot, maybe even more, that people treat him differently. Back to Junkyard. He was a preferred Machinima director? I forget that was called.
Him and Ken Burns. They were him.
Yeah, and they just had this position above everybody but Hutch, it seemed. And we were all like, it just didn't seem fair. It didn't seem right.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember after that? Like,
upload space on this loser. He's literally a woman's shoe salesman. This is a guy who
sold cowboy clothes.
He invented the side hustle in fucking 2007, people. Okay. He had all of these little jobs, and Call of Duty commentary was, hey, this will be another piece of the pie. Here's a Junkyard quickie for you. And like, I don't care what you do over there, but like, he was taking a slot away from people who were like,
it was a zero-sum game.
Doing what we were doing, who were good at it and focused on it. And it's like, this is
he'd upload a video, like a search and destroy video where someone else got a clutch or something. And be like, that was another quickie. And it's like,
it wasn't search. What was
sabotage? He would upload a sabotage where someone sprinted to the other side and planted the bomb, so you could have a 90-second fucking video. And he called them Junkyard quickies.
And then, he'd get one kill in the whole video. He'd get one kill in the whole video, and all the commentary was basically, I don't know why you're watching this thing on Machinima channel. You should go out to my channel and check out more content. Like he would just advertise.
Well, I hope you like this video here on Machinima. Come on over to my channel. This was just a 30-second ad for my channel, really. It took a spot away from a guy who made a 27-minute commentary where he went 804 in domination. But
dude, I'd always be like seeing those Junkyard quickies pop up, and I'm like, I've got a 68 and TDM in my Dropbox. Like, can you
sniper rifle?
Yeah, I burned a good story on that one. If you could please upload it.
Shore Wars won't upload it.
Oh yeah, Shore Wars did everything other than be like, "Fuck you." When you ask, like, "Hey, I've got 9 videos in my Dropbox and none of them have been uploaded in a month," you'd be like, "Is that right, Taylor? Go fuck yourself." Yeah, we're gonna upload it. Never. It's gonna be in this Dropbox until the Dropbox service expires the content and it falls into the internet abyss. Yeah, so I do remember everybody being mad about that. But as a dude, he seemed.
That is why I picked on him and led campaigns against him.
I do remember. Yeah, you did not care for being passed over. You're like, I'm doing silly Russian voices, and this guy's not.
There was a point where I was big enough that they'd upload anything I wanted. But then, like, I'd give them what was the best I could do, and they'd be like, all right, Woody, we uploaded it, but can you, like, give us a better video next time? And I'm like, well, fuck you. I'm never giving you any videos. Like that's actually the best I could do.
Yeah, I remember, like, the first
I was
FPS
proud of that one.
yeah. I think the first FPS
we
Russia
put it on the
commentary
fridge.
was with you, Woody, right? You guys did
it again?
The first FPS Russia video was with Woody, right? The first DualCon you guys did when you started really promoting it.
He definitely was on my channel, like when FPS Russia was still a gamer. But I don't know if
that was maybe the first
Kyle's
one I watched, and immediately I'm like, "Oh, Kyle does a good Russian accent." Like,
no, I did it. No, maybe I don't know. I did a bunch of stuff like that initially to try to promote it. I know I did probably a free for all on
Shipment.
No, I hated Shipment.
You did a free for all on Shipment where you only used direct impact noob tube kills.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. I don't really remember, but I know I did. So I did like dual comms with Woody and with X Jaws and maybe with Wings and some other people. Right away to try to promote it. I think so. I wish I could remember that. I can't believe I can't remember the name of that map now. It's been so long ago. I haven't played COD 4 since they did the remaster.
Can you describe it? What game was it? COD 4?
Yeah, COD 4.
Modern Warfare 2?
Was it the boat one?
No, that Modern Warfare 2 is Modern Warfare 2. I'm talking about Call of Duty 4.
Okay.
Was it Wet Work?
It's the one that's got a congested, like a little Arabic market in the middle, and then It's got a long street. No, that's a helicopter in the middle.
Showdown.
Might be Showdown. No, it's not Showdown. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Zach says it's District. Probably is. In any case, it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Zach.